a need to, there are two contracts that we reviewed.
You're fine. Yeah, one contract.
Oh, it's one contract, nothing. That's well. Mr. McAbeth missed the exciting approval of the prior meeting minutes.
Can you run it again?
It gets recorded. You can watch it on CTV. So we have an action item to approve, to authorize the chair to approve an agreement with for our internet and telephone service. 36-month term. It has a $13,630 impact on this year's fiscal year. Motion to approve. Motion to approve it. Second. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any class position? Judge will sign it afterwards. The only other thing I would add for me is a need at the end to go into executive session to discuss the personnel matter. So hold your breath for that. Other than that, I'll turn it over to Rich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the new fiscal year. I think we're all led to the last one in the year. If you remember, last August board meeting is when we had at our offices and decisions. We realized that the forecasting of our budget wasn't what we projected in. We had to make some tough adjustments. This meeting will be a lot more enjoyable, I can assure the board. With that said, let's go through some numbers, kind of wrap up, if you will, fiscal year 21, and then let's get into it. So our report came in. June was the best month we had in fiscal year 21. We finished well. You can see where occupancy was, rate and red bar. And you can see even calendar year on the right hand side, things are definitely moving in the right direction so far. We got July, this got July star report before we left. July was a little bit down at 59% occupancy. But by and large, you can see we're definitely moving in the right direction. Yeah. Next slide.
There's actually just a reminder of June. We had a first mark in June this year. It's not traditionally in June. But impact occupancy.
We do one more thing. Emily's employee. I'm sorry, Emily, to introduce you to the board. That's the new phase. That's your new contact.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, next question is for June and July pre-COVID. I mean, are they good months for us? Or are they typically a little slower?
Yeah, they are because the convention business.
June and July are usually good months for us. July is big, especially the failures get better on weekends with folks just traveling on weekends, school being out. Usually pretty strong months for us. June this year is kind of an anomaly because of the first market. After the June happened.
Yeah. So business travel is probably stronger in the fall.
Well, convention business particularly is strong in fall. Then you had typical weekends, what university events, and all that stuff. Fall is still a strong time. A lot of numbers up here. I'm not going to get into a lot of it, but just what we do is we recap how we look the last 7 years from a fiscal year perspective. You can see fiscal year 2020 is really when that's when the year COVID hit in March. So that year, obviously, you see its occupancy down 17%, and that's with COVID affecting just 4 months of that fiscal year. But remember, the first 4 months were the very worst months we had to deal with as it relates to COVID. And already you can see now where we had a year You could argue in 21 where we had 8 bad months of COVID, where things started getting better in March, this past March. You're starting to see a little bit less of a dip. So overall, I think the numbers are definitely starting to go in the right direction. The big number down at the bottom of fiscal year 21, you see hotel revenue came in at total hotel revenue came in at 7 million. We did all our forecasting off about $60 million. So I'll get into some more numbers. You'll see that we ended last year very, very well. Okay, slowly, but that went in the right direction. Next slide. This occupancy tax collections for fiscal year 21. This is how we ended up last year. You can see there June being the best month, and you can see all of a sudden starting in March of last fiscal year, we started going in the right direction as it relates to the occupancy compared to the prior year when COVID first hit. You remember back at 1 year ago in August, we all agreed upon a forecast of $2.2 million in revenue, hotel occupancy tax. You can see we came in at $2.6 million, so definitely, obviously very positive for the budget. We'll see that on the next slide. Is again unaudited, obviously, but this is kind of how we're looking in terms of overall actual revenue and expenses for the end of fiscal year 21. We're in pretty good shape. Paul is going to probably apply the $260,000 from PPP. It's going to roll it forward into this fiscal year's budget. But with that said, just again, say for unaudited finances, you know, we're showing it because we received it last year. So all basically we had $2.9 million in overall revenue come in last year against about $2 million in expenses. We're basically, if you look at the bottom line, we're sitting with a fund balance of $1.9 million. I'll remind you, that's where we were in 2019. So we really, I think overall, yeah, to be really, from a fiscal year end conclusion, to the credit of the board and I think the staff, we survived the pandemic. We did market, advertise, and promote, stayed relevant in the marketplace with both our customers, clients, and leisure. We rebooked all the groups that canceled or wanted to, reschedule. And we've ended the year, I don't think we've ended the year in a much better financial position. We are back from a fund balance perspective, back to almost $2 million in the bank. So I applaud the staff and the board leadership, but I think fared fairly well for the pandemic. So who goes around? And I thank the board for its leadership. We made some tough decisions a year ago this month, and I think they were the right decisions to make.
Any way of having comparisons?
We're nuts. I don't, no, it's the direct answer. I'm trying to think how much they would be willing to share. I'm trying to think how much I would be willing to share. Understanding everything is public. I don't necessarily want to share what our fund balance is.
Can I ask a question? Richard, maybe can we go back to the ADR, the slide, 2 slides ago? Yes, here. So we saw a significant uptick to that rate, but do we have any fear or concern that occupancy is sort of saving the day right now and ADR we had a lot of supply come into the market before the pandemic, and do we need to consider how we can work as a city to bring ADR back to where it was pre-pandemic as occupancy stabilizes and we can be able to forecast and project where occupancy will
be? Occupancy definitely is going to lead the company in the recovery. And we can influence TDA, we can influence occupancy. To a certain point, really can't influence ADR. Occupancy will influence ADR to that extent, we can influence it. We're going to be careful. We do POS meetings, we have conversations. I think in general, we want people to hold the rate, push the rate. But Kelly, I think we have to be cautious not to get too specific in terms of talking about rates. We could be stripes, like Dana. I think we just have to be careful about that. I know what I did.
Just as it relates to ADR, especially when you look at this chart, because it's pretty drastic when you look at it from this perspective.
Yes.
But keep in mind, in the middle of COVID, the folks that were traveling were really staying. They were staying in the select service hotels and the low rated hotels, so the rates were much lower. So that's really kind of another anomaly with making those averages kind of drop more than they would. When we had those mass gathering restrictions and we couldn't have group meetings in our full service hotels, and in some cases, because of staffing levels, some of our full service hotels didn't have restaurants, you kind of got to a point where if you're coming to stay in Winston-Salem and you could stay at a select service hotel for around $100, why would you stay at a full service hotel for $150 when you don't have a restaurant, you don't need the meeting space? And so we really saw a shift into more of the select service during the fiscal year.
Yeah. And to Christian's point, it is a bit of a disservice when we do show an average for ADR. I have a SAR report right in front of me in July. Okay. The economy level change, ADR was $90 in July. The full service upscale hotels were $122. So there is, we also have, we're in a marketplace where about 80% of our rooms are considered non-full service. So it will drive the overall average down. Again, we can slice ADR, just cautious. We want to make sure there's enough hotels in each slice that really can't go back to determine which hotel. I would submit to you, in part of the Christian said, I'm saying that probably our ADR isn't as an average if you're on. Okay. Look at it. We can really do a breakdown.
You do a breakdown by sector.
It would give you a better idea really what full service luxury hotels, where your rate, quote unquote, is community, where our rates are versus economy hotels.
I'm going to comment. Your question was more as we're going out through this, and so they're looking for, are they thinking, considering ADR? And you get we're in the same thing, so we know what our ADRs are. And your question is more about, are we considering ADR for one piece of the business? Is that right?
For one piece of business, but also for like the health, like more of a health check for the budget and how we're achieving. Because it seems as though what is happening is occupancy falling into a less of a struggling spot than ADR appears. So I guess just as we.
Yeah, I would say if I look back over the couple of years that I've been ingrained doing this, it probably is cyclical in pattern after 9/11, after 2018. Occupancy is the thing that starts.
Because I guess what I would hopefully would want to avoid collectively in the city is just accepting that this ADR is our new normal.
Yep.
And we'll just take the occupancy that follows. I don't want to sell us short.
But Rich, you leave it up to us capitalists to determine.
We want in this room, we want to push the rate.
Yeah,
for sure. The other challenge, remember too, corporate transit is trailing, right? We came back with leadership, we came with sports stuff, came back, convention stuff. Everything that's happening in Winston-Salem, it's really an international trend. It's led with leisure and they move. Corporate which is what we all want, right? People, men and women, different expense accounts, spending whatever they want to spend. That's what's trailing. And with this current spike of the short-lived spike, variant is going to continue to keep, I think, the corporate stuff.
What segment did we add most capacity? High and low end.
Select service. Because most of what came back quick and in quantity was leisure travel on weekends. And most of those were looking for.
But it's Holiday Inn Select, it's the Hampton Inn, it's the, it's those products that have,
So that capacity coming in more.
Here came back first, and naturally that market came back, and then the complete opposite, high-end resort came back first. Because people, it was leisure travel, it was, I gotta get to the house.
but I would say to Dana's point, well, now find the conversation. Let's make sure, and I'm comfortable, Christian knows this, I'm not saying anything you don't already know, is that let's not get stuck in the forest through the trees and seeing, oh, here is this leisure, here is this sports, here is this. There is something on the other side of the forest that is corporate, that is maybe better rated business. Let's make sure we stay tuned to how that starts evolving and coming back, and make sure we're the first of the fountain to drink out of that. Yeah.
I think that's what.
But
Well, I would tell you that, and I would just, to follow the forecast over here, I would anticipate occupancy percentage to drop because rooms is more rooms than added to market. And as full service hotels start seeing more and more business, I would anticipate ADR going up as we continue to look through these reports.
Well-mastered conversation without having Rennie raise his hand and say, you guys are a little too close for comfort in the conversation.
Sure, that price fixing.
Well played.
Okay. Let's move on. That's the budget. We're in good shape. It's kind of how we put it. Okay, let's say goodbye to 21. Let's look forward now. Let me turn this over to Christian. This is a PACE report as of July 1st.
Correct. So I mean, that's exactly right, Rich. It is the PACE report as of July 1st. These are all definite convention, group, sporting event rooms that we have on the books, represented by each calendar year. Obviously, it's not where we want to be. I'll keep in mind when you look at last year, when we had almost 7,000 room nights on the books for the rest of the fiscal year or calendar year of 20. Not all of those materialized because we had some cancellations later on the tail end of last year. But by and large, as you look into the future, you can see we're pacing all ahead. So really what we're running into now is we're running into those groups that postponed or canceled in 20 or 21, trying to squeeze them into a future year when we've already got other groups that are booked for, as far out as 26. So it's a good position to be in as we kind of look ahead. Obviously, these numbers are continually changing on a weekly basis. We continue to monitor them. We obviously always work with our hotel partners to look at lead times. One big thing I'll point out that's kind of skewed these numbers again when you compare it to past fiscal years, the Jehovah's Witness Convention that we've all talked about in this room a lot, that takes place at the Joel every summer. They usually do 3 or 4 conventions, ends up being anywhere from 9,000, 12,000 room nights. They have not met with us since 2019. And there's no plans for them to return until as early as 23. So that's a big chunk of room. So if you take that kind of away, you can see we're really not too far away from where we were in 2018 or just within reach of 2019.
Rich, I think that's what I was trying to say to you. I'm not interested in going about turnouts. County commissioners are always being compared to other counties. I'm just looking for some comparison.
Okay.
To see, I mean, y'all know where you are, but I don't.
No, that's a different, okay, that's a different,
Yeah,
That's the nation.
that's a different question.
I'm not at all interested in sharing turnout,
No,
but I am interested.
in numbers. That's that.
versus our peer cities.
Correct.
Peer governments.
How's the bounce back for everybody else? Yeah.
Right.
Are we winning or losing?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think the key there is we're winning back what we had, right? So everything that was lost, as Rick said already, or canceled due to COVID, we've got that coming back on the books, which is a strong start. I think where we run into trouble sometimes when we're comparing ourselves with other bureaus is you're only as good as what assets you have, right? So you've got a convention center that's 300,000 square feet, then your room nights, your pace report's probably going to look very different than one that's got 150,000 square foot center versus one that maybe only has a 30,000 square foot center.
You gotta just comment on.
Yeah.
Christian, is this a fair assessment in looking at, as of July, remaining 6 months of the current calendar year? If you take out that road, because what we have on the books is the virtue of what's happened, would have been booked in the past year or two, right? For the next 6 months. So this 15,000, if you take that out and just look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 years out, we look like we're doing better than what we had on the books in 2018, and those were good times.
Right.
So
I
this
think
year is past.
there's a lot of numbers here, so it's kind of hard to see unless you want to kind of break it down by year. But I think what you're seeing is we've got a lot more books, room nights on the books for future years.
That's what it was.
And that's a couple of reasons, right? One is you've had the pushback, the pipeline, the folks that couldn't meet over the last 18 months have pushed somewhere in between 22 to 25. And then the other side of that is we've just got new business that's coming on the books. So we kept prospecting during these 18 months. And while a group that may be looking to meet in fall of 21 or first quarter of 22 may be hesitant because of a COVID spike, a group that's planning a convention for 24 or 25 is a little more willing to start having, securing dates, assuming they know, how many room nights they think it might be.
And really what we like to see getting beyond the COVID conversation, when we get back to normal booking trending cycle, and in concert with the renovation and refurbishing at the bend and the expanded space, we want to really be able to be in a position to start pushing stuff out further. We want to get out. We want to build more density of rooms out in 3 years, 4 years. And just like that, doing that will help to some extent. Kelly's comment about how we drive rate. More things that are on the books, the city's tight, you can join whatever you want to join.
You got that base business on the books, the further we can get that out.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
This looks great to me because my pace report is short windows. So when you're take out this top row and look 1 to 5 years out, when you're pacing, and I'm all about a pace, but I can't. My pace now is just so short. I don't have a whole lot on the books. But you look like, as a city, we do. So that is very encouraging.
And that pace is because of betting and sports.
Yeah.
In large part.
Yeah.
If you look at that, that's.
Your demand generators that you need to secure. Yeah.
Those room nights, like 2 weeks that will go away.
And that's part of the difference between this pace report, Dan, and probably the one that you're looking at, because the one you're looking at has got the leisure traveler in there that may be making a decision for this weekend and hasn't decided yet, right?
I'm looking at mine, but I've got contracted.
Right.
People are just short windows right now. It's not, people don't have that, just, on an individual sale basis.
Well, and I think that's a good point too, because we do still have leads out there in the system for later this fall. Because you do have folks that you've compressed your decision-making time because of the pause of COVID. And so some have booked further out and some are going to try to squeeze in, an event this fall.
And with that, really, we do get a lot of calls all the time from developers. Somebody wants, it would be cool. We have another hotel downtown. What everyone else is doing, what do you got on the books? What's on the books? Question you always ask.
Let me be respectful to those people on the phone as we carry on a really good conversation. Anybody on the phone want to raise their hand and chime in? And then we got Ron and CJ out there. Hearing none.
I'm good right now.
All right.
I think CJ may have said something we might need to try to call you.
He said he's all good right now.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, let's move on to the next slide. event. Just as you know, the renovation, just proof to the board that renovation started. Mr. Alice here, city as well, and thank you for being here. We're moving forward with the roughly $1.5 million renovation at the Grand Pavilion and all that space around there. Next slide, please. One of the things we wanted to do is rebrand the Grand Pavilion. We talked about that. What we wanted to do was make sure that space over there didn't feel like it was an annex. It was all part of the event. We thought artwork. We have some great North Carolina Winston-Salem artists artwork displayed in the venue. We wanted to carry that theme into the new space. And that's how we came up with renaming and rebranding Grand Pavilion, the gallery. We're obviously with the city on it, the city was comfortable with it. Approach. And the goal is to now, as we walk through the tunnel from the Benton into the continuation of the Benton, and you come out of the tunnel, which is technically under the University Suites, we want to make it more of a, in addition to having the decor, the family of the venue, we want to carry artwork throughout that space. The next slide, please. So as you're walking, you can see the tunnel. As you walk down the hallway, and ultimately into the pavilion foyer, into the Grand Pavilion. These are all sites that we're going to have artwork. We're actually have a few more sites in the foyer area all the way to the left before you enter what will now be called the gallery floor. Almost want to make it a complete gallery feel to the space. I think we'll really upgrade it. And to some extent, it will, you know, the artwork, all Winston-Salem, Forsyth County artists, the artwork carries with it, will depend in trying to get it to the point, of course, it's all one space. We're marketing it now. We're marketing it now as all one space. 150,000 square feet space at the venue convention center. So I think that's going to help as well. Next slide, please. You've already seen some of the, we've been pushing this, our latest expansion, the work of art. Pushing the gallery ballroom as another new thing that we have going on. And once it even through, if you will, the pandemic, we're reinventing, we're renovating, we're building new. Trying to really use that and leverage that to get the word out to our customers. These are some ads, this is some digital advertising that we're going to be doing, basically talking about the event is expanding by another 43,000 square feet. So trying to, you know, we're pushing the investment the city's making really hard from a marketing perspective. If you get ourselves reintroduced again with our customers. Okay. We are planning to do a media trade meeting planner media tour in November.
In November, so we'll have the travel publication writers coming to town to see not only what's new with the sample specifically with the gallery ballroom, but also some of the other new things that are going on as well downtown as well.
Okay. Next slide, Emily. This is really quick. We are rolling out a campaign. What you saw, that all that other work is being pushed out. All these convention trade publications, magazines, we're promoting it on trade shows that we'll be going to. So we're definitely getting, if you will, it's opportunity to reintroduce the band in the renovation, but also now as an expanded facility with the new gallery ballroom, and also obviously an opportunity to talk to customers about the other things that are going on in downtown Winston-Salem. So all positive stuff. Hopefully, it will build that base that Dan and Kelly went on the page report. So we're pushing this stuff hard. We believe, Ben, without putting you on the spot, there's always, I know we were planning to have it done by early September. That's going to be pushed back just because of the backup and getting carbonating lighting fixtures, all those types of supplies that we're dealing with. But it's going to be back up to a few weeks, correct?
That's right. We're thinking probably in December. Carpeted lighting fixtures.
We've had a couple groups in this space, but we had backed up the venue for them. And what is going to be space. Okay. That's kind of going to turn it over to Christian to go over some of the convention activities.
A couple things. The gallery, are pieces actually for sale? Or are they, were the city's buying them on display? Clarify that part.
The city is purchasing them through the Public Arts Commission. We own the city. I would probably submit every artist artwork, anything's for sale. Well, it's not, but I do not believe there's not going to be a sign up for like this is $5,000.
We're not understanding our broker business.
Well, I was concerned about that because people want to be galleries.
We did have in the first phase in the event. That was came from the Public Arts Commission.
And then just for clarification, you said we came up with this name and we did this. Who is we?
We got with the staff, Marriott, and our staff, our advertising agency,
City.
and the city, because it's city space.
Yeah.
They have to approve anything.
Just clarifying, because you were saying we is better.
It was the entities involved with the space, and Mr. came upon it. Mr. Al was comfortable with it, comfortable enough to take the city council for its approval.
And then just to kind of piggyback and to wrap up the gallery ballroom. So not only are we obviously got the advertisements and the e-blast and everything you saw on the previous slide, we also give an opportunity to talk about this as we're on the road interacting with clients. So we've been at the MPI Carolinas chapter meeting in Asheville, at the ANC annual meeting in Wilmington. You see Karen Wall in the bottom corner there actually talking about Roar and the gallery ballroom. So really trying to roll this out to our meeting planning community, especially the ones in North Carolina that are familiar with that space and are excited about this renovation taking place. We've done sales calls in Raleigh, CK Calcelari there doing our attending and taking appointments during the Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina Motor Coach Association annual meeting. We also hosted a transition meeting with the North Carolina Music Educators Association. North Carolina Music Educators has been one of our longest running groups. They've been coming to Winston-Salem for about 40 years. And so this is the second time during my tenure with Visit Winston-Salem where the executive director is retiring. So we've been able to meet the new incoming executive director. She's very excited about continuing to stay here in Winston-Salem. They're actually booked, as you saw on the page report, Dana, several years out. So that's good to see as we start to foster that new relationship. We did also host the Black Cultural Heritage Tours. They came up, they do some blogs as well. So you saw a picture of the hook and ladder truck, which is a real popular tour opportunity for folks to kind of tour around downtown and open air, which was a lot of fun. We've also had clients in the market. So we had the Roritan National Group come in, their selection committee came in last month to start looking at a program for January 2024. This morning, we had the Department of Public Instruction looking to bring their career and technical education group here for next summer. So they were committed to coming to Winston-Salem. They paused that because of COVID. They're looking at coming back. Right now, really, we're just in discussion on looking in your crystal ball and seeing how many room nights you think you're actually going to be able to generate contracts. So we'll probably submit contract less than the 3,600 rooms and then look to add as more clinics raised for that registration. And then Connect Marketplace is probably our largest annual trade show that we participate in. It's multiple appointment shows. We go through 3 different tracks. There's about between 4,000 to 5,000 people that will be down at this event. So we'll be praying to take appointments at that show at the end of the month. Any questions as it relates to sales? Great.
Thank you. Go on to some welcoming activity. It is held. I'm going to just run through some things pretty quickly. As you know, fundamental to all of our marketing efforts is really getting in a position where we can earn PR, earn editorial coverage. Just reinforces what our marketing message is, our branding is, and all our advertising, both leisure and trade. And these are some examples of people that we've had in town, that digital influencers in town. We've had also North Carolina TV and PBS show. You see that picture of Matt Wayland. We've also posted basically a PR staff from Visit North Carolina. We have a partnership with Visit North Carolina, but they're out there pitching as well. So we're hoping, talking to them, remaining them in town, and we have new things. Along, Emily, I think everyone saw the great cover of the guy in Garden and Gun. This to a T almost is a demographic of the audience that we're trying to look to come to us and get away. That was an excellent article, lengthy article, and really a top magazine to our customers. So that's sort of it's been really great. And that was really influenced in large part by not only our marketing people, but by so kudos to them. Moving along to some other earned editorial that we have received. That Marilyn Jones is a writer, photographer, and blogger. QC is really the magazine for Charlotte. You know, there again, it's a strong market, as you know. We're always trying to get. It is a day trip or a one nighter, so and obviously Kimpton got some good coverage as well in that Charlotte article. So again, just editorial that's been all earned. It didn't cost us anything in terms of advertising. It's just earned good exposure for Winston-Salem. And finally, we are working with, again, Visit North Carolina, partnering with them and their New York City-based PR firm. And we're doing basically a media tour, media fan, that for people who focus on publications that focus on food and wine. You know, and we're trying to continue positioning Winston-Salem as, if you will, the gateway to the Yadkin Valley wine country. You see the names of the writers there, but also the publications. We're also obviously working very closely with Kimpton, who's agreed to work with us and host. We're doing a wine pair dinner at the Kimpton. Also, we're touring Childress, Rainland wineries, and they are spending time also at Rinaldo Village and Old Salem and downtown. So some great publications to get, positive stories about Winston-Salem's food scene and wine scene, and getting activity to the wineries out in the surrounding area. So, well, positive things. And this is coming up the end of this month. Okay. I believe that wraps up things. Only other thing I just wanted to show, but we do have some major events coming in. We're getting ready and working closely with. Obviously, we're a sponsor of the Winston-Salem Open. That'll be in the end of this month. Gears and Guitars coming in again this year. So that's a cycling event downtown with some concerts. We're partnering with them as well. We're working with Bookmarks with their festival that will be in September. I think this could be one of the first tourism industry conventions that have come back, to be live in North Carolina. That's the North Carolina Travel Industry Association. It's a leadership conference. Did not meet last year. We're meeting this year. So I think it's the first time that we're having really an industry conference back in North Carolina. It's going to be downtown Winston-Salem at the Kimpton, 29th through October 1st. And Artist Thrives is a convention that we booked pre-COVID, and it was supposed to come last summer.
Yes,
Right? Last summer, July. Obviously, with COVID, it didn't happen. They pushed it back to this September. And it's a conference for artists and ways to help them grow their business, do their business. It's a national convention, and how they can, if you will, be better business people at art. And there's all types of seminars going on throughout. So it also helps, I think, expose our arts community during this conference. The Arts Council is very involved. We've been very involved as well as trying to identify the most, if you will, art-rich environments to do some of the special events while they're in town. That would be a nice conference to happen in.
I just add to that Artist Thrive. Part of their model is that they come to the destination for 3 years. So they're going to be with us not only in September, but then they'll be back again in July of 22 and July of 23.
That's my report. Mr. Chairman, I believe in terms of finance.
Yeah, I'm here, Rich.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Kind of low.
Low?
He's really low. I don't.
Is he on?
Yeah, he's on. I just can't. I can't any louder. Did he? Yeah, it's at 100.
Emily, can I just have you repeat what I say?
Can you try to turn your volume up a little bit too?
I think it's up as far as it'll go. Just a minute. Did that help any?
Here.
Well, while you guys work on that, anything else to share?
No, I thought that way. What was that one?
Or we break around on the Kauai.
Test it out and see.
Or is that, and then also.
Thank you.
Emily?
Yep.
Can I just say something to you and you repeat it to the board? What was that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, it's too early for the audit report for last year. And we've just now closed out the first month for the new year, so I don't have a report for you. I did have one thing I wanted to share with you. I'm retiring as of October 1st, so this will be my next to last meeting.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. It's been almost 48 years. It's probably time to give it up.
Well, you will leave a hole in this group, so we appreciate your steadfast handle on this, on the rudder for this group. As we all come to, you and Randy keep us fiscally responsible and legally aligned. So we appreciate your guys' counsel and guidance.
I appreciate the kind words. I really enjoyed working with TDA for a long time.
Yeah, you've been around for a while. You've seen some stories, yeah. Good. But other than that, I think our financial house is in order, I would assume.
Absolutely. And I think if the surge continues and causes problems, you've got time to take a look at where you are and make any adjustments you may need to.
Well, it's great. I want to thank you for your guys' support during my tenure. And obviously you'd like to talk, prior to your retirement.
Thank you.
Sarah, do you have anything to share?
I do. The museum of anthropology is now open up next event from everything. We last week. It'll be opening